are my grandparents Colleen and Peter. They live on the pension, which only gives them about $440 a week. They can't afford to go out, so Scrabble is something they enjoy as free entertainment. How did you end up living on the pension? Did you have any other sources of income before?
We decided that we would want to work together, so I gave up my job and we got a job working for the Salvation Army, managing a rest home, and it was virtually a charity job which we did for about 7 years. And at that time we had a house which we sold, and when when we retired, we didn't have enough money to buy another house.
Because of the
so
prices
we bought a
going
camper
up.
van and went travelling around in the camper van, and that was for about 3 years we had that. And that's why we really ended up by having to live on the pension.
What are some of the challenges you face living on the pension?
Well, we would really like to have a car, because sometimes it does get a little bit difficult going to get your groceries, having to walk up and bring them back home again, even though it's not far.
Also going to the doctor.
And going to the doctor, we have to go to the doctor over at St Heliers, which means getting a bus into town, then another bus out to the doctors, and back. We could of course change our doctors, but we don't feel inclined to after being with the same doctor for the last 15 or so years. There were little things like that become a little bit difficult.
Can you tell me a little bit about this blanket you've got on here?
Well, this is my saviour at night. We have a heat pump in this place, but we have to watch the electricity because of, we're on such a tight budget. So somebody gave us this and it plugs in, and we just have the heat pump on for 10 minutes to warm the room up, and then we sit together and watch our programs with the blanket around us, and it just saves so much money in electricity for us.
Very warm.
And it is lovely and warm. We use it all the time.
My grandparents get around on public transport. One advantage is that they can use the gold card, meaning their trips are free. To get to the supermarket, it takes them about 8 minutes. My grandparents shop at their local Pack and Save. They save up once every 2 weeks. This is due to a rise in food prices of up to 12.1%. They sometimes have to wait 3 weeks before even getting their groceries. Like many pensioners, they have resorted to a plant-based diet. Meat is too expensive most of the time. Luxuries like wine are too expensive. A pensioner in a Stuff News interview said he, quote, has to shop around a little more carefully, comparing prices per weight and avoiding overpriced items. This is something I see my own grandparents doing. They can't even buy cereal. Even things like premium milk powder cost too much. Here is their 3 weeks worth of shopping.
I buy this milk powder. It lasts me about 6 weeks. It saves a lot of money. It's $14 a bag, but as I say, it lasts me 6 weeks. It saves me from going up the road, and it's very simple to make. You just put a scoop of it in here, fill it with water, put the top on. And I do have a little problem with getting the top on properly, so you have to be careful that it does go on properly. And then I put it on my little machine here. Very simple to make. Now, then of course porridge is very cheap to buy, and it goes a long way. A packet of porridge lasts us probably about 3 months.
Cooking?
Dribbling down your chin.
This is my dad, Craig. How has it been having parents live solely on the pension?
Well, my parents are very resilient people, so they get on and are very grateful for what they've got, and they just make the best of whatever situation they're in. But given that, I think I guess it's just a little bit hard to watch people who are in the retirement age on the pension, who worked all their lives, paid their taxes, did a good honest job of work, which both my parents did, and then to find that they have to struggle a little bit and have to go without perhaps some of the nicer things in life at a time when they should be enjoying it. So so that's been a bit tough. To see them go through that a little bit, and I guess that decision to work in the last 10 or so years of their life in more charity type work, and they didn't really get rewarded for that, even though it was very tough work, very hard work, and they did a very good job at it, very good job. They weren't quite rewarded for that, and I really think they should have been. So there are equity issues as far as what governments are prepared to pay pensioners and things like that. So it is that's been sort of I feel for them in that regard.
I found it extremely compelling to share my Nana and Granddad's story. I'm glad they have such a strong, long-lasting partnership, but I feel sad about the struggles they face. I wish at their age life was a bit easier. I hope in the future more pensioners will be able to live lives of dignity.